dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYNT Mountain News at 11.
A cold night in the mountains may turn into a snowy day. Good evening, I'm Tanner Hesterberg. Temperatures are falling and chances for snow are increasing, so we're issuing a severe weather alert day to keep you safe. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Shane Smith. And Shane, a few schools in the area have already canceled classes tomorrow.
That's correct, Tanner, and folks can always check that out at WYMT.com for the latest closings and delays. And I suspect tomorrow morning a lot of school districts will be making that decision early tomorrow morning. Right now, we have a winter weather advisory that takes effect tomorrow early and then runs through the evening, about 7, 8 o'clock for most of the region. Not a lot of snow showing up right now in our neck of the woods on pinpoint Doppler, but you can look off to the west and northwest and see a few flakes already flying. Now, most of this snow will hold off until tomorrow during the late morning hours, and then we will see some heavy snow squalls in the afternoon. Temperatures as we speak generally running into the 20s, although we do have a lone 30 reading at Somerset, also up at Moorhead, so 230 readings in the coverage area as we speak. But you factor in the winds, feeling like the teens and 20s. Okay, let's break down the forecast for tomorrow morning. Should be cold to start the day, but cloudy. However, about 7 a.m., some of our northern counties could see a few flakes, and then better chances at 9 o'clock. Here's a look at future view as we take you through the overnight into tomorrow, and you are going to see those snow showers will move into the region, and they will be a little bit heavier at times, especially in the afternoon and evening. So the risks for tomorrow, anytime past 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, traveling could be a little bit hazardous. Those snow squalls could put down a quick coating on the road. Wind chills tomorrow into the teens with actual air temperatures into the 20s. The snow's going to be a light snow, so we don't have to worry about power outages, Tanner, but it could be enough to cause slick roadways, especially during that afternoon commute. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. I've got to look at the timing of the snow and just how much we could see coming up here in about 15 minutes.
All right, Shane, thank you. And as we mentioned, we do have some school closings and delays already to tell you about for tomorrow. Johnson County schools will operate on a 2-hour delay. Jenkins Head Start and Martin County schools are closed all day Tuesday. That's an NTI day for Martin County school teachers. Letcher County schools are closed. You can keep updated on school closings and delays by heading to our website, WYMT.com. The cold weather is particularly hard on people who have nowhere to live, so members of one church in Laurel County started a weekly meal giveaway for the homeless, the needy, and really anyone who wants to stop by. Tonight I talked to organizers about how they want to see the program grow beyond a once-per-week service. Hot soup has long been a staple of winter, and now it's a weekly tradition at First United Methodist Church of London. Church officials last week began offering a free meal of soup and sandwiches and plan to keep the service going every Monday night through January. Mary Lou Lawson helped organize the program.
To me, that's what my purpose is, being able to serve people, being able to help people. And there's a feeling inside that you get of, wow, I want to do that again.
A feeling echoed by Reverend Matthew Kimmons, the pastor at First United Methodist.
We don't have to look far, just outside our own back doors, to see deep need. And it can be paralyzing. We can't do everything, and we're constantly challenging our folks. Do for one what you wish you could do for everyone. And that's what this Monday night meal is all about.
Organizers would like to see other churches in the community offer meals on different days, so people who need the food will have somewhere to go every night of the week during winter.
I'd love that. So we're working on it, and it will happen. Eventually it will happen.
But for now, church members are focused on spreading the word about meals on Mondays, hoping it reaches the folks who need it most. Church officials plan to offer the meals the next 2 Mondays from 5 to 7 p.m. and may decide to keep the service going longer depending on the turnout. One person is dead after a single vehicle crash in Whitley County. Deputies say it happened this evening around 6 o'clock on Highway 25 at the intersection near Mount Ash. They say 59-year-old Sandra Petrie of Bunker Hill was traveling southbound when her F-150 cut into an embankment. Officials say it does not look like she was wearing her seatbelt. The road was cleared by 8 o'clock. Volunteers from one Pike County Fire Department said their final goodbyes to a fellow firefighter today. Amanda Presley spent 8 years on the Kemper Volunteer Fire Department. Early Friday morning, she died. Presley battled cancer her whole life. Friends and family say they will always remember how dedicated Presley was to serving her community.
You don't find people like Amanda. Very rarely do you ever find anybody like her. I mean, if she had a shirt that on her back that she knew you needed, she'd give it to you.
There's much more to Amanda's story. You can visit our website, WHIMT.com, for more. A special called Letcher County Fiscal Court meeting was held this morning to discuss a possible future for the now closed recycling center. Whitesburg Mayor James Wiley Kraft proposed the city of Whitesburg take over the recycling center program by leasing the building for periods of 6 months. The city will utilize their current employees, hoping to cut down on the expense of labor that shut the center down.
We really want to do it, just give it a good old American try and see what happens.
We can utilize some of the resources of the Conservation District to help educate people, to get more people to be involved in blue bag and recycling within the county, and also that through my relationship with the college.
Kraft says he will submit the proposal to City Council tomorrow night. If the council approves, Kraft says he suspects the recycling program will begin next week. Officials now believe a Whitley County teen who went missing Friday was kidnapped. They say 16-year-old Travis Bryant, who was originally from Nelson County, Kentucky, had been living in his Whitley County foster home for a couple of months. Police are searching for 25-year-old James Wimmer of Kokomo, Indiana, who we're told has an extensive criminal history. They believe Wimmer drove and picked up Bryant in Whitley County early Friday morning.
We have information that they did go to Kokomo, Indiana, and are there now.
Anyone with information is asked to call 911 or the Whitley County Sheriff's Office at 606-549-6006. Mexican authorities have released dramatic new video of the operation that led to the capture of cartel boss Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Government officials are working to extradite the world's most wanted drug lord stateside, but the process could take at least a year before Guzman faces charges on U.S. soil. And actor Sean Penn is speaking out about his controversial interview with El Chapo. Danielle Nottingham has the latest from Los Angeles.
New video taken by the Mexican military shows the violent raid to recapture drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman last Friday. Guzman initially escaped the deadly shootout. He fled through a sewer system but was caught in a stolen car on the highway. The Sinaloa cartel boss is back in the same Mexican prison he tunneled out of in July. And now the process to extradite him to the U.S. is underway.
Mexico is more amenable to having him extradited to the United States. The United States wants him badly.
Mexico's Attorney General says Sean Penn's interview with Guzman in October was essential in helping authorities locate the drug lord. This picture was taken as proof of their secret meeting. The Mexican newspaper El Universal published photos that show Penn at the airport with Mexican actress Kate Del Castillo, who helped connect Penn to El Chapo. Other pictures the newspaper says were part of a Mexican intelligence file reportedly show the two at a hotel, greeting handlers before being taken to Guzman's jungle hideout. In his Rolling Stone article, Penn says Guzman told him, quote, "I supply more heroin, methamphetamine, cocaine, and marijuana than anybody else in the world." Penn expressed no regrets about his interview and told the Associated Press in an email, "I've got nothing to hide." Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Guzman faces at least 7 drug-related indictments in various jurisdictions in the U.S. His attorney says Guzman's defense team is challenging his extradition and is expected to appeal all the way to Mexico's highest court. Mexico's willingness to extradite Guzman is a sharp turnaround from the last time he was captured in 2014, when then Attorney General said the extradition would happen only after he finished his sentence in Mexico in, quote, 300 or 400 years. The world is mourning the death of David Bowie. The British artist and pop star who challenged musical convention for 5 decades died after an 18-month battle from cancer. From his first hit, 1969 Space Oddity, to his most recent jazz-inspired album released just last week, the ever-changing artist kept his audience guessing.
There would be no Madonna, no Lady Gaga without David Bowie. He showed them how to make art, how to make celebrity out of everything around them.
Bowie turned 69 Friday, the same day he released an album called Black Star. He also released a music video the same day for a new song for his sold-out off-Broadway musical, Lazarus. No winner yet for that big Powerball jackpot. On the last drawing day, about 95 Powerball tickets were sold per second in Kentucky for a chance at more than $900 million. Now, 2 days later, there's still no winner. The jackpot is now set at $1.4 billion. That's a world record. The big question seems to be, what would you do with all that money?
That's a ton of money. I mean, it's not too much money.
And I think it would help a lot of people if the right people win, that is.
Yeah, I want to help my children and help my family, but for the most part, I'd want to see what I could do to make other people's lives better, something to make the world a better place.
The next Powerball drawing is Wednesday. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, a traumatic bike accident brings together a mother and her young son to lead Kentucky in legislation based on helmet safety. Riding a bicycle is something most children in Kentucky learn to do, and it's fun, but bike accidents also lead to thousands of visits to the emergency room, or worse. A Kentucky mother and her young son are leading an effort at the state capitol this week to make riding a bike safer and save you from their nightmare. Sam Dick has the story.
April 21st, 2010, around 5:30 p.m. in Prospect, Kentucky, in front of our old house out front.
Heather Floyd's sons often rode their bikes together.
His brother did a trick or stopped suddenly, and TJ, I guess, didn't realize and ran into the back of him and flipped over the handlebars and hit his head on the road, the concrete.
Neither boy had a bike helmet on.
So he's not bleeding?
No.
Any bruising? Any? Just looks like he's asleep?
Yes.
She wasn't sure TJ would live. He'd suffered a life-threatening brain injury.
He was in the what they call the dying process. So it was bad.
5 years and 7 surgeries later.
Ooh, what are these words? Random ball and magnet. Nice job. You came up with those words quick.
Today, 13-year-old TJ is still coping with brain damage from that accident. He just had surgery on both legs. His bones are growing, but not the muscles, so doctors had to stretch them. Casts are on both legs, but they don't stop TJ from getting around.
My thought process is for him to be able to dress on his own, which he can, bathe on his own, which he's getting there. Really, it's just getting out of the tub. It's a safety issue for him. Getting in's okay. Putting his shoes and braces on, we're getting there on the braces.
TJ's mom still thinks about what if he'd worn a bike helmet.
As a parent, you don't really get rid of that feeling that you somehow hold responsibility for that, or if I had just known. And you know, no matter how many people tell you don't do that, don't beat yourself up, you still do it.
Dr. John Drowse, pediatric surgeon at Kentucky Children's Hospital, says a bike helmet can minimize brain damage.
Takes that shock of the trauma from the bike helmet and prevents that force being transmitted to the child's head and brain.
In Kentucky, bicycle accidents are the 4th leading cause of traumatic brain injuries for children 5 to 14 years. It's estimated bicycle helmets are 85 to 88% effective in minimizing head and brain injuries.
Broken bones heal. The brain is not as resilient as a broken bone, so it's much more serious to have a brain injury. Even a mild concussion can have long-lasting effects on a child because their brain is developing.
If passed by the legislature, TJ's bill would require children under 12 years old in Kentucky to wear a bike helmet when riding on public roadways and public bicycle paths. Heather hopes it saves another family from dealing with a child's brain injury.
I don't know that a helmet would have stopped the injury because of the impact. They thought he was hit by a car. It was that severe just from riding the bike. I do believe that it would have lessened the severity of it.
Now this Thursday, TJ and his mother will be in Frankfort for a news conference with Representative Joni Jenkins to talk about the bike helmet bill. If it's made law, a parent could be fined $25 for their child not wearing a bike helmet. First-time offenders can buy a helmet, and by showing proof of that, the charge will be dismissed and no fine issued. Still to come in sports.
My dad was a big sports person, being a lumberjack he is.
John Calipari may give Ty Wynyard his first minutes of game action tomorrow night against Mississippi State.
And I'll have the very latest on when the snow will arrive and how much we can see. That's coming up next.
So some more snow in the forecast. Shane, the timing of this snowfall is making it very difficult on school administrators to decide what to do, right?
That's right, Tanner, because the snow tomorrow morning for most of us won't be flying until after the buses run. It's going to be 8, 9 o'clock. And then the heaviest of the snow doesn't come until tomorrow around 2 or 3 o'clock, right, as the buses should be going back home. So that's where the real trouble lies. You can see at the bottom of your screen a few schools already deciding to call off and play it safe. Let's show you all the counties under a winter weather advisory right now, and that's most of the coverage area. That runs from tomorrow morning through Tuesday evening. Does not include some of our southern and western counties, and that's because the snow there is going to be very light. In fact, from Williamsburg back over to Monticello, we're talking less than a ½ inch of snow for you folks. It's mainly in our winter weather advisory counties. We could see more than a ½ inch. Okay, pinpoint Doppler. Not a lot off to our west right now, but there's a little bit of snow up towards Lexington and back off towards Columbia. The temperatures, they're into the 20s and 30s, 25 the local cool spot at Wise, 27 London, Harlan, 29 Jackson, 30 Paintsville and Somerset. Next 24 hours, we go down into the mid-20s by tomorrow morning. Snow showers up into central Kentucky at 7 o'clock. Noon, all of us will be seeing those snow squalls, and it could be heavy at times. Watch out for those slick spots by 2 o'clock, and the snow begins to taper off tomorrow evening. You can see that storm system looking very organized off to our north and the west, and it is continuing to dive down towards the bluegrass, so watch out. And that band forming right now back into portions of Iowa, that's the one that will likely bring us our bigger snowfall tomorrow. All right, let's break down what to expect. Before 6 o'clock, dry. Don't worry about it. 6 o'clock to noon, the snow moves in. Noon to 8 o'clock, that's when the snow will be heaviest. For most of us, up to an inch. Our northern counties, our eastern counties, and our counties near the Virginia border and the higher elevations, 1 to 2 inches. That's where they'll see the most snow. For most of us, though, we're going to be probably in the ½ inch range or so, based on the latest computer guidance. Northern counties, Moorhead, down to West Liberty, 7 to 10 o'clock the snow moves in. Mount Vernon to Boonville, Beattyville, Jackson, Sayersville, Paintsville, Prestonsburg, 8 to 11 o'clock is when the snow moves in. 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock for our southern counties, and down into Virginia, 10 to 1 in the morning is when we're expecting that snowfall. So the bottom line, friends, it's not a ton of snow, but it hits at a very bad time, and it will cause some slick roadways during that afternoon school commute and the afternoon commute home from work. Folks need to take it real easy, slow it down when they're driving tomorrow afternoon, Tanner. Remember, if it's snowing and it's slick, you need to be going way below the speed limit.
Good advice, Shane. Thank you. Coming up next in sports, a brand new Alice Lloyd College Mountain Top 10, plus Alabama and Clemson play for the College Football National Championship.
This is WYMT Mountain Sports, your home for the Kentucky Wildcats and local high school sports.
John Calipari isn't going anywhere. Once again, Cal makes headlines after an NBA coach is fired, but Cal tweeting today saying, "I am not negotiating with anybody. My total focus is on this team and winning the next game." This comes after New Jersey Nets head coach Lionel Hollins was fired Sunday. And when an NBA coach is fired, Cal's name, well, it usually surfaces, of course, but it would take a glitchy ATM machine to spit out lots of cash, because Cal apparently would not even consider a job going to the league. Sources tell Yahoo Sports that his asking price would be 10 years, $120 million. So here's the other Cal tweet from today. You may have heard me say this before. I absolutely have the best coaching job in sports, and I plan on being at Kentucky for a long time. As for his Wildcats, they dropped to number 14 in this week's Associated Press Top 25 poll. They lost at LSU last Tuesday, but then went to Alabama this past Saturday and got the first true road dub of the season. They're back at home tomorrow night against Mississippi State, and New Zealander Ty Wynyard may see his first opportunity.
He's working hard. He's getting better. He's getting in better shape. He's a physical presence. It's helping us in practice a lot. He's been able to push our other big guys to a physical limit.
I don't know. I guess I've been really strong my whole life. Growing up around a strong family, you know, genes. My dad was a big sports person, being a lumberjack he is, so I probably got a lot of that from him. Probably playing with a lot of men back home because there's not really many younger good players around, so probably that, yeah.
All right, the Mississippi State Bulldogs and the 14th ranked Kentucky Wildcats tomorrow night inside Rupp Arena, 7 p.m. tip time on ESPN. We'll have highlights and post-game reaction in the 11 p.m. sportscast. UPike's Andrea Matchin helps the women's basketball team stay undefeated this past weekend and is awarded by the Mid-South Conference today. Matchin is the player of the week after averaging 22.5 points per game, and the Lady Bears wins over number 25 Lindsey Wilson and number 18 Cumberland this past week. Matchin is currently the 10th leading scorer in the nation, averaging just over 17 points per game. Coming up.
For the, the people letting us back into the All-A. We're very thankful.
After a year off, Cordia plays its first round game in the 14th Region All-A Tournament. We'll have highlights of the Lions and Buckhorn. Welcome back. The College Football National Championship tonight in Glendale, Arizona. Number 1 Clemson and number 2 Alabama. Last time Clemson beat Bama, 1905. There's Derrick Henry, the Heisman winner. First quarter, Derrick.
The Heisman winner in the open field, headed for the end zone.
Henry goes 50 to the house, 5th 50-yard touchdown run of the season, tied for the most in college football, 7-0, same quarter. Quarterback Deshaun Watson for Clemson to Hunter Renfrow. 31-yard touchdown, and we're all tied at 7 in the national title game. 5 seconds ago in the quarter, Watson back to him again, Renfrow. Second touchdown of the night. The Tigers grab the lead, 14-7. But the Tide drive down the field. Henry punches it in. Game tied at 14 at the half. And in the fourth quarter, Clemson leads this football game 24-21. Well, the first round of the 14th Region All-A Tournament tonight, and nothing screams mountain basketball like a packed house at the old Heinemann Gym. Umar Kita, the kid, he never stops smiling, does he? Cordia taking on John Noble's Buckhorn Wildcats. Second half, Buckhorn down 5. Connor Hoskins lighting it up from downtown. Game high 28 for Connor Hoskins. Anthony Nelson, he chopped the hair off, still got the shot though. That's a splash ball. He had 15 of the game. UPike top plate contender. Nelson here blocked by Donovan Engel. Ryan Boggs up to Connor. Yeah, he doesn't get it the first try. Gets a second try, though. The Lions working it down low now to Akita. 2 of his 8. Fourth quarter. Cordia's defense giving the horn fits. A.J. Chisholm with the steal. Kareem McDonald on the other end with the finish. Team high 22 for Old McDonald. And then just a monster night for Chiz. 14 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Cordia on to the quarterfinals. The Lions will host Hazard tomorrow night, 68-52.
I thought in the first half the intensity wasn't there. We told the kids that Buckhorn kids were going to take on John's personality, and John's a scrappy guy. He's not going to back down from anybody, and we told the kids that, but I don't think they understood it. And in the second half, we made some adjustments.
Well, just because you win the WYMT Mountain Classic does not automatically make you the #1 team in the mountains, but the votes are in, and that's what happened. Here's the new Alice Lloyd College Mountain Top 10 for the girls. Not Central, the 2016 Mountain Classic champions. They won tonight at Powell County, and now they're the new #1 team in the mountains. Harlan County stays at 2 after a 3rd place finish in the Classic. Shelby Valley, the Lady Cats won the 15th Region All-A yesterday. They're up to #3 this week. Pulaski and Southwestern round out the top 5. Harlan drops from #1 to #6, while Bell County moves back into the top 10 after a runner-up finish at #10. On the boys' side, Perry Central, the unanimous #1 team in the mountains after winning the Mountain Classic. South Rural drops 1 spot to #2. Harlan County lost tonight to Corbin, by the way, by 2 points. Lawrence County and Southwestern round out the top 5. Clay County goes from 2 to 7. Hazard into the Mountain top 10 at #9, and JBS rounds out the top 10. That's sports. We'll be back after this.
Thank you for joining us tonight. You can always find the latest headlines and school closings updated as soon as we receive them on WYMT.com. Stephen Colbert is up next. Have a great night.